right, hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about a hot topic, Hermes Agent. This is an incredible tool. I'm so excited to get into it. We will be going through exactly what this is, how to leverage it, and if you think that this site is cool, it's made with Lovable. It's today's sponsor, and we'll get more into that at the end of the video. But feel free to glance through as we're going through this because I think it turned out pretty awesome. Okay, so what is Hermes? Hermes is not a chatbot, it is an agent, and those are not the same because a chatbot, you're kind of monitoring it, you're babysitting it, you're sitting with it, you're typing out manually, you're waiting for that response, and then you're responding back to it. It's more of a conversation, and it takes a lot of time, whereas an agent is something that you can go and give instructions to, and then it leaves. You're done. It's off. It's doing the thing you wanted it to do. And this is a huge shift in how we have been using AI. So many people are getting started using ChatGPT maybe back a few years ago and using that prompt web-based form where you're going back and forth with text. But this is where we're moving into now, and it is all agents. And so what this means is the basics here. You have a goal, and then that agent goes out and does that thing. It looks at its results and reads them. And then if it isn't done, it repeats that whole process. And it just keeps going and iterating until it achieves the goal it set out to do. And that is why agents are so cool, because you're not just getting a random result. It's going through and it's checking itself. And you can put even more parameters around this. They're called evals. That's something you can look up later. It's not exactly a beginner piece to make sure that you're hitting the exact metrics that you want to as you're doing and creating the things that you're looking at. So that is an agent, and it is awesome. So we took the goal, perform the action, observe the result, decide on a next step, and then repeat it as necessary. And that's what makes it an agent. So what exactly is Hermes? So now Hermes is a way for us to kind of access that technology. And I'm sure you've seen this individual before. She is everywhere, all over, if you're like any kind of AI videos, which you might because if you're here. But this is what the Hermes logo looks like. And she was built by Nuance Research, and they have a bunch of different models, but really this is the one that took off and just came out in February 2026. Open source and became quickly #1 most used. And the reason why is this persistent memory. And so Hermes is able to have beyond individual sessions. So a lot of the times you'll have an AI conversation and you'll go to that same AI later and it won't remember what you had talked about previously. This is also called context. So remembering what you spoke about before. What Hermes is able to do is have this persistent memory. So depending on what you're looking at, it can go through your business strategy and help that inform the marketing copy that you're looking at. It can help inform the ad that you're putting together or the welcome emails that you're sending out. It can have all this persistent memory across all these different projects, which is so helpful. And then self-authored skills. So if you've used agents in the past, you know that a lot of times you're kind of trying to get it to do something repeatedly. And once it does it once, you try to remember exactly how you prompted it, but you might not get that exact output the next time. What Hermes is able to do is kind of write itself a cheat sheet each time it gets an output that you like. And that's what self-authored skills are. So after it performs a task and it gets either you kind of went through it a bunch and it got to a final result at the end, it'll go through and write through kind of what mistakes it made, and it will try not to make those mistakes again. So I think that is so amazing. It literally gets better the more that you use it and the more that you have these kind of interactions with it, which is so cool. So what can you do with Hermes on a day-to-day? You can use it to search the web. So it can go out and look at different websites for you, maybe scrape for different information. It can browse and click pages for you. So it can go through and kind of fill out a form, or like I said, just do research and kind of interact, maybe see what kind of user score it would give your website or something like that. It can run code for you, so you can have it build an app and run that code in a sandbox and see what that looks like. It can help manage your files. I don't know if you have like a messy desktop with a bunch of screenshots. It can go in, sort those all into different folders for you, or go through all your documents and sort those into folders for you so everything's much easier to find later. can help generate images. It can do speech to text. Interesting is scheduled jobs, so I can get a daily brief every day at 8 a.m. kind of running through what my Google Calendar is, or what kind of meetings I have, or what LinkedIn posts I need to respond to, things like that. And an interesting point is the multi-channel chat. And so a lot of times when you're using these different AI tools, you use them and then you step away from your computer and you're done. And that's the end. Like now, I have to go out and run an errand. My agent's done. I'm not able to prompt it and kind of look over those results next. What Hermes does with this channel chat is you're able to have things like Telegram, Discord, iMessage, a lot of different ways for you to be able to talk with it. And it'll send you a text when something's done, and you can shoot off another kind of command for it to do. So it's like, okay, I'm done with phase 1. We did this, this, and this. What would you like to do now? Okay, move into phase 2 through this documentation. Like you can kind of talk to it or type it out, but it can go out and do these things. So once you step away from your computer, you're not done. You can continue working, which is a really cool shift. And that's something that like OpenClaw was able to do, but this is a very different way of doing that. Okay, another thing is having your data not be trapped on your laptop. You can put it to a cloud server, and then you can talk to it from anywhere. So like I said, with the terminal, the Discord, this is another way for you to access all of that information. It is a very cool perk of having Hermes. And you may have been a part of the OpenClaw mania back in January. It really took over the tech world by storm. Apple minis, Mac minis were selling out. I was one of the ones that got one to try to run this. Like, I was all in on OpenClaw. Hermes kind of changed the game for a lot of this, and now OpenClaw is kind of out a little bit more. And Hermes has kind of, I would describe Hermes as kind of the Apple version of Open Agents. So they've made a desktop application that's really beautiful, really good to work with. Their branding's on point. They simplified a lot of the user experience, whereas OpenClaw was very janky. It took a minute to get started. Things would crash. They were putting out, like 20 different updates a day. It was a really fun time to get started with this kind of technology, but Hermes really took it to the next level and made it more polished. And so I think it's a good opening for a lot of people that maybe didn't jump on the OpenClaw bandwagon to begin with, or even did and just want it to be a little easier to work with. So the great thing though, since I already used OpenClaw, I was able to have all of my settings imported into Hermes really easily. All my skills that I already set up, I didn't need to have a completely fresh start. It just works, which is, I feel like, kind of that Apple effect too. It's a testament to how easy Hermes is to use now. Okay, installing it, also super simple. I have right here kind of the command you can run. This is a downloadable asset. I'll show you my school community later how you can get this, but just click on this link. It'll take you right to download, and it's so simple. You just click download, open it up, and it gets working for you. A very easy setup. Okay, so now that we understand what Hermes is, what you can do with it, I created this guide and also your 51st prompts in my school community. Go ahead and join that. I'll have a link in the description below, and you'll be able to see what you can do with Hermes. I think that's kind of one of the hardest parts. It's so easy to download, but now what? And I think that my 51st prompts will really help with that, especially if you're a business owner. I have different prompts in there for, let's say, business strategy, setting up meta ads, so you can have Hermes go out, look at your site, look at your business model. You can give it different context, and it can create ads for you, create meta ads, and then run those meta ad campaigns. Like, you can give it parameters for how you want it to go, and it will go out and do that for you. So great way to get leads, great way to follow up with leads. I have some lead follow-up prompts in there as well. Great resource. Not only do I have Hermes resources on my school community, I have GitHub Copilot, many other AI tools. It's a bunch of different stuff, all great value, and I think that you'll also love working with the people in the community as well. They're all builders who are interested in AI, just like you, if you made it to the end of this video. And if you thought this looked cool, then you should try out Lovable. They're the sponsor of today's video. I made this site on Lovable. I think it looks pretty neat. Link in the description below. It helps out the channel. You can go ahead and try Lovable for free. I think it's one of the best ways to get a prototype, a website, an app that has taste. It's really difficult to get some of these agents to create something that I would create myself as when I was designing. And I think that Lovable gets the closest out of a lot of these, like Bolt, Replit, all these other ones. I think Lovable creates something that's actually a little nuanced, actually a little interesting, without a ton of back and forth. I did this in one prompt for the most part, and until I started changing out some of the text. But the overall idea and the overall visuals was done all in one prompt. So very cool tool, link in the description below. Like I said, helps out the channel, and I really do use it, as you can see. All right. I want you to like this video if you got some value, subscribe if you like things like this, and then in the comments below, put in some of the things that you'd like to use Hermes Agent for. What kind of things in this video got you excited? I'd love to hear more. Love talking about AI, and would love to chat with you in the comments below. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.